fans, like you've had them, you've used this community to like promote your stuff before, but now you're kind of going away from it. I just never get that. It's like, especially in an era like 2020 where everybody's on social media, when you go do something like that, you're only going to get negative PR. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But anyways, we'll talk about that more afterwards. We are getting into losers quarters, semis, excuse me, I looked up the wrong thing. WebbJP versus Ram.
Yeah, and WebbJP breaking out the Lucas for this particular occasion. It's got to be a party up in here, Ajax, as we're going up against the Snake. Pretty decent record against Snake as Lucas, got to say. And you can definitely see why. With as many explosions as Snake is inclined to throw out, better believe that the Absorber is going to be broken out as well.
Yeah, side magnets are just such an annoying problem for Snake against the PK kids. Like, it's just one of the few times where, you know, as a Snake, you actually have to show that your neutral game can involve that big green button as well, which Snake has plenty of good options for. But when you lose your ability to just trade for days, and you're a heavy body like this, you get comboed like crazy. And that pressure that Webb could put off stage with the PK Thunder 2, or the PK Thunder in general, excuse me, just being able to just constantly shut down one of the biggest toolkits that Snake has. This is going to be very rough for Ram to fight, and it's going to be pretty much all hard reads, but that's not the way to do it right there. Getting red right onto that grab, getting tossed right off the screen.
Yeah, and if you're Ram, definitely don't want to be repeating that. At the same time, how much of this is avoidable? That's kind of your gameplay. You got to be a super aggro Snake if you want to get anything resembling progress on Lucas. And don't get me wrong, you have the hitboxes in order to do that, but that's also not your game plan. And you're getting tap danced on by WebbJP in neutral. Certainly can't feel good.
Yeah, and even these situations right here, right? Like, this is what, like, that's Snake's best option, really, is to do that, and then you get reverse edge guarded. You can't do anything about it. You got reverse ledge trapped because you got PK freeze, and you can't get the pressure on, go off stage. Like, the best option you have, really, is to shut down the PK Thunder, which is so hard to do because you don't usually get fast enough Nikitas to get that position out there to stop it. And Webb, you could just go high. Like, you know, like, we try not to heavily kind of shit on a matchup too much, but this is one of them that is just so difficult to deal with because Ram doesn't get to use most of the best options that he has available to him.
JP at the moment, yeah, you just throw the leg out, kicking the. How do you just kick a drone out of the sky and kill Snake like that?
This kid, did you ever watch like some of the old movies? Like, you're gonna shoot your eye out with that. Like, you shouldn't be going to play with explosives like that. But Lucas and Ness, they don't care. They could care less. Like, just the pressure that Webb put on off stage and disadvantage as well. That is infuriating because you're sitting there trying to control the platform, right? Like, I'm staring you down, like, all right, I got this. This is gonna be a good stock. I'm gonna put Nagita up, and then PK Freeze comes at you before you can even set something like that up. Then you go off stage and you get reverse edge guarded because Cypher can't avoid it. Like, that's just so mentally detrimental to a play style. Like, what do you think Ram's gonna do to make the adjustments around that? For one, I think probably character switch, but like, what do you think is the adjustments that happen here?
Well, you were right about the first one, so I'm going to not try to make some. I'm going to not be able to look at the Snake skin and try to think of some stupid Escape from New York joke. And if you haven't seen Escape from New York, please watch Escape from New York. It's so good. Kurt Russell at his absolute finest, but
it's always a good time with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and Donald Pleasance, underrated actor. But either way, dash attack in is not going to find the mark. This Fox having its hands full in the opening proceedings, but again, you have the opportunity, maybe taking heed to what I was saying, Ajax, where you do have the boxing options, but also most of your moveset is rendered pretty much superfluous at that point. So if you're maybe you go with something that can just kind of get up close and personal. Fox, maybe not big on the Wi-Fi tier list or whatever, but not a bad choice. Though WebbJP maybe trying to make me look like an idiot.
No, something I was actually going to point out in this matchup too is a lot of stuff that worked on like Snake, when we were talking about the combo ability, there's not a lot of real stuff on Fox because of that fast fall and the ability to actually get SDI out a little bit easier. So there's gonna be a lot of fake windows of things, more like Webb goes for a single hit, looks for that he went for that last time as well, trying to look for the short hop grounded reset with the up air, because you can't capitalize further off that. It's gonna be on Ram to know those windows, because if you get caught by the fake stuff, then Webb's gonna eat you alive. Like those down tilts before, I don't know if it's just enough window to be able to get that grab, but it's also, you can't jump too much, because then you catch that sweet spot fair, and now Fox is forced into a situation where you gotta Firefox and probably take it down there, or a down smash.
Certainly not
chilled.
Yeah, chilling off stage right now. That neutral air is going to bop WebbJP. But yeah, again, that Lucas, WebbJP,
goodbye.
Pop him off of the stage, pop him up, grab him, smack him around, toss him out. WebbJP saying, "Get this box out my sight, out my tournament, out my."
That was at 0%, by the way. Just pointing that out there. That was at 0%. Don't look. What did we say at the start of the match? I mean, actually, I don't know if it was this one, but stage control, ledge pressure. It's so important. Now, obviously, that's unfortunate that you missed a down smash in that situation, so you want to put that pressure on. But the Nair hasn't killed the last few times, right? So when you give up that stage positioning, you go off at another Nair, you have the tether recovery. You have PK Thunder too, so they can stall for recovery quite a bit. And then you just get cheated. Like that stock was just straight up stolen. But you know what? You gave it to him in that situation. So it's unfortunate for them, but you know, Webb's gonna take that through and through and just continue on and take that W 100%.
Are you expecting me to respond to that?
I don't know how you do. This man died at 0. He died at 0. We're going off stage. Like, this is why, again, like, this is why I'm such a stickler for stage control. Whenever I go over reviews or look on things, it's like, when you, obviously, yeah, it's good to go off stage. You don't, you know, you got to do it every once in a while, but the last few times the interaction hasn't worked, right? The Nair didn't kill previously at high %. So in that situation, all you're getting basically is like, you maybe push them away a bit, you go for another ledge trap, right? Or you stay there, you keep that pressure on, you try to force Webb to shield at the ledge, and you continue to grab and put that fear in them so maybe one of those up smash or F smashes will work.